Anne surprised many in the small North Wales town of Mold this week after she landed on a rugby pitch in a helicopter. Her short stay was intended to visit the town's Citizens Advice Bureau, which she is a patron of. It is just one of a number of official visits Anne has carried out this year, last week being spotted attending the annual Armed Forces Day at the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire. As such, Anne has been described as one of the royal family's hardest working members, having carried out duties for the best part of her life. It is for this reason, royal authors and commentators claim, that Anne has built something of a steely reputation for herself among the upper echelons of the firm. This is especially true for Prince Charles, Anne's older brother and future king. Jeremy Paxman, the veteran BBC journalist who has written about the royal family, once claimed that Charles is intimated by Anne. Speaking during the Channel 5 documentary, Paxman on the Queen's Children, he noted, like the rest of us, Prince Charles seems slightly intimidated by his sister. Dickie Arbiter, the Queen's former press spokesman, appeared during the programme, and said, "Anne gets on with it, she's a no-nonsense lady. A bit like her dad, chip off the old block." Mr. Paxman continued, "Anne is grand, but she's managed to give the impression of doing things on her own terms. It is true that unlike the rest of her siblings, Anne opted not to give her children, Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips, royal titles. This was, she has said, intended to allow them to live as normal a life as possible." In the years 2017 and 2018, Anne was named the hardest working royal. The awards were yet more feathers in her cap, given that she previously won the accolade of becoming the first royal to compete in the Olympic Games. According to the documentary, in 2017, Anne carried out more royal engagements than there are days in a year, 455 in the UK, and 85 abroad. Mr. Paxman noted, "That's more than Wills, Kate and Harry combined." Meanwhile, attending the annual Armed Forces Day, Anne was accompanied by her husband Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence. Around 100 service personnel gathered to meet the royal. Dressed in military uniform, one of the few women in the royal family to consistently do so, she watched a fly past from the Red Arrows, later being treated to lunch. On top of visiting Mold this week, Anne also travelled to Lincoln. There, she officially opened the joint ambulance, fire and police station on South Park. She visited and spoke with staff involved with the response to the pandemic at the County Emergency Centre before having lunch there. An escorted tour saw her guided around the facilities, meeting with officers, and even getting the chance to be introduced to some of the dogs from the force's canine unit.